So, good morning, everybody, and welcome again to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Thursday, 12th of September 2024. So, the synoptic situation that we have, that low pressure that it has been dominating weather over Scandinavia, is still around. However, the high pressure that's down here in Bay of Biscay and the Atlantic is starting to take effect, and we're getting a bit of a squeeze in the middle with the isobars. Um, there's a trough line here, which is basically bringing crappy weather down the Cheshire Gap at the moment, but that's sort of fizzling out. If I run it through to midday today, you can see that that trough line has disappeared per se, and we're left in a sort of pretty slack northwesterly airflow for the day, very unstable. But there is a bit of a high pressure influence. So it's going to be similar to yesterday, but a little bit drier. I think if I run this forward through to tomorrow, we seem to have a nice little ridge of high pressure. We're going to be under quite reasonable soaring window, I think. And going forward to the weekend, it's starting to look more frontal again. So spot winds today, the further north you go, the more north the wind becomes, further south you go, the more west the wind becomes. Well, we're sort of stuck in the middle. Flying winds today are going to be northwesterly around about 15, 20 knots. Here's the cloud as we can see it at the moment. This is the Cheshire Gap. I was talking about the Cheshire Gap trough line. That's fizzling away as it comes further inland. You can see south of the country is actually pretty reasonable. There will, however, be some showers build up later on in the south of the country. Current rain as we speak, and there's the rain associated with that trough line coming down the Cheshire Gap, and reasonably dry in the south of the country at the moment. So if I run through the forecast rainfall for the day, then there's a Cheshire Gap rubbish. You can see actually we're pretty comfortable out south of the country until around about midday when the showers start to build up. And if I just run this through, it's going to be a bit like yesterday, sort of hit and miss about whether or not we get anything heavy. As you can see in the south of the country, there is a lot of rain showers. So hopefully we can avoid them. Maybe we can't. And if I run that through, it dries out towards the evening, and then the evening is going to be very pleasant, although the wind's going to be going around to the north later on today. So local forecast then, nice bright start. We can see that. Predicting showers from around about 12 o'clock, not a high percentage, so it's going to be potluck whether or not we actually get hit by them. Temperature, please make a note of the temperatures. Maximum here 13 degrees, but feeling more like 10 or 11 because of the wind chill. Wind direction and speed, westerly 8 knots there or abouts, and as the day goes on, from 5 o'clock onwards is going to be a nice light northerly. I have highlighted the gusts. I think the gusts are going to be more associated with any showers we may get in the local vicinity, but we do need to be mindful of them. Okay, if you're outside the window at the moment, it's very nice. GFS is not working this morning, so I can't give you their max and minimum. But temperature outside at the moment, 8 degrees with 6 degrees dew point. Dave's predicting showery, maybe good. Less showers to the east where the air has had longer to dry out. And tomorrow looks to be the better day with high pressure over here, lightish winds, 8 to 10 knots, 4,500, 5,000 foot cloud base. Okay, Odium is giving us 4 knots from the west northwest with a TAF of 6 knots from the west, few clouds at 3,000 feet, and a 40% probability between 12 and 7 p.m. today, broken clouds at 3,000, cunims and rain showers. And if I go to Farnborough, similar, 7 knots from the west-northwest at the moment, becoming 4 knots from the west, few clouds at 4,500 feet. Temporarily between 12 and 4 o'clock local, rain showers, viz coming down a little bit, with a 30% probability of heavy rain showers between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock this afternoon. Top meteos indicating reasonable-ish cross-country type distances to 300k perhaps if you're really lucky. But if I run through the thermal prediction, biggest thing you're going to see here is the showers coming in. So this is at 10 o'clock this morning. So we are going to get Q here to around about 3,000 foot initially. But as soon as it gets going, embedded within the cumulus is spread out and Q-nims. You can see that if you look really carefully, you can see in amongst the green as heavy showers and spread out. Although it's indicating we may get here to about 3,500–4,000 feet. This is at 1 o'clock today. A lot more shower influence, a lot more spread out. And if I just run out a few more hours forward, you can see it's a lot heavier now. Thunderstorms and showers in the south of the country. Sky sight's quite similar for the cross-country area. And if I do a point forecast, we can see we're going to get a bit of Q to about 3.5, maybe 4,000 foot if we're lucky. We're going to stop very, very quickly from about 2:30 onwards as the upper cloud and the upper mid cloud cover comes in. Winds on the ground 297 to about 3:30 and later on going around to the north for a short period of time. No terms today then. If I go to the main sheet here, most of them are local, but we're familiar with most of them. So 24 is Barton Station, then the usual. 25 is flares at Rushmore. It's not going to be till 9 o'clock this evening. 29 is flares at Aldershot until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. 31 is Ash Ranges. 33 is paragliding at Coombe in West Berkshire. 32 is the Uphaven telephone change. 26 is an air display at Longleat. That's going to be this evening, 7 o'clock this evening. And 30 multiple paragliders down at Westbury. 52 is usual Otmore and Western on the green. Now all this lot here, if I can get a little bit and go up the screen a little bit, 40, 33, all that is going to be an active CTA that's going to be open from 3:15 this afternoon until 5:30. It's a temporary CTA, Class D airspace. The further north you go, the further north you go, the higher it becomes. But all the stuff down here at the bottom is all between Kemble and Bryce Norton. Bryce Norton are controlling it in its surface to 5,000 feet. And then as you whip up to the northwest, it goes up to flight level 100, 175, and then 195, and then beyond. So you just need to be aware of that if you're going that way. Okay, so then the airfield brief for today. Cross-section from Odium is pretty well as we'd expect. 6-knot westerly breeze initially, going around to a little bit of northwest, and the upper cloud building as the cumulus builds, becoming Q-nims later on the day. A lot of upper clouds spread out. Bit of turbulence, slow down this afternoon. Thunderstorm, it's a general strong wind and thunderstorm warning for later on. Gusts of 26 knots. They're going to be associated with the showers that come through, I think. Okay, no movements planned yet. The reason I say that is there was still an outstanding maintenance check flight to be done on the Beech 200. We did add a 727 coming in today. That's delayed now to tomorrow. The weather similar to yesterday, bright during the morning, showers this afternoon, some heavy. They may hit us, they may not. Yesterday it was amazing. I took a photograph. The clouds went, they sort of divided, a bit like Moses. You know, they divided and went either side of Lasham until eventually they hit us. Locally sawable at 4,000 feet, 8 knots, west-northwesterly wind, veering slowly to the north by early evening. And there could be some gusts associated with the showers. We're going to set up on 27, dry operation, and just a caution there about ground handling and canopies, please, with the gusts. There was still some poor ground handling yesterday. Into wind wing, please, especially on these gusty days. So 5K21s and 3K13s available. There's 2 on the booking system with Al Melmore and Bob Johnson. 1 on the course with Mike Birch. Ian Deans and Ken Keenmore have booked a K13 for this morning. Maybe they can share it or get one out each. That's up to them. No trial lessons today. Good single-seater availability. All remaining 2-seaters are available for the casual list. Reminder, buggies not insured for people not in seats. please, and listen out on the radio. Simulator is serviceable. There's pictorial view of the list. Al Melmore, Bob Johnson. Viv's going to have a big busy day with Al by the looks of it. Otherwise, Bob's got Susie, Mike, and John. Paul has got SH6 booked this morning. Hermione, the SH8 for the morning. Basically, they'll have them all day, and they can fly them in when they've finished. Martin Hughes, Susan Zhu, and Chris Marin is off volunteering on the casual list. Thank you. Okay, so operation M, we're going to set up on a standard 2-7. Hopefully we'll be able to stay on this all day. West-northwesterly breeze, aeroplane to the north, winching to the south. And please, a reminder about the cross runways, about 100 meters south of the main runway. They're unusual. Please do not roll over them on the ground. Land before them, stop, or in the middle, or after them. Okay, but do not please roll over them on the ground. Okay, I'll get the launch point vehicle out now. I'll see you out there shortly. Please dress up for the cold weather. See you soon. Bye.